Hey guys, that's it here. Reaper of Souls is almost upon us, and most dedicated players are wrapping up their pre-expansion Paragon farming. But that doesn't mean that a couple of good drops can't make you stop and think and come up with a fun new way to play your character. And what would those drops be? We'll get to that in a second. Let's take a look at the build. We want to feel like a cross between Darth Vader and a Super Saiyan, so our primary damage dealers will be the awesome looking Electrocute with Arc Lightning and the even more awesome looking Arcane Orb with Spark. We'll be dropping the latter to soften up enemies from afar and then teleporting in with safe passage and basically have 5 seconds of undisturbed Force Lightning, Arc Lightning up in their faces. Magic Weapon with Electrify and Storm Armor with Thunderstorm both complement the theme of the build and benefit from the damage amplification of our legendary items. The Sparkflint Familiar is a bit of a boring choice, I know, but I'm using it as a temporary buff until I replace my rare weapon with a hard-hitting, lightning damage boosting Schaefer's Hammer. As far as passives go, Prodigy will work with Electrocute to keep our arcane reserves up. Blur will work with our safe passage for when we go up close and personal with enemies. And at first I had some doubts about Paralysis, but it tends to proc just enough to make it worth of a passive slot, and I don't think I'll be replacing it anytime soon. Now let's take a look at those delicious new legendaries. I'm talking about the Stormcrow and the Thundergod's Vigor. Adding up to just shy of 30% bonus to lightning damage, these legendaries are both the inspiration and the reason why this build works. The next legendaries on my to find list is a lightning based Stone of Jordan and a Schaefer's Hammer to replace their respective rare slots. The rest of the gear you've probably seen in my older videos, but I would like to mention that the Moonlight Ward is still a very hard worker, and despite the fact that the build is not being centered around arcane skills, unless I get a really good lightning damage amulet, I don't think I would move the Moonlight Ward from its place. This is how I spent my Paragon points: intelligence and movement speed in the core section, critical hit chance and critical hit damage in offense, armor and resist all in defense, life on hit and area damage in utility. I expect full life on hit, and I'm using a life on hit two-hander to demonstrate that I'm not cheating the difficulty with lifesteal, and the build is indeed viable at about 3000 life on hit. That's all about the build. Now let's show it off in action. This is how the build works. You pre-cast your armor, magic weapon and familiar as usual. You approach a large pack of enemies, shooting off your spark arcane orbs from afar. As your arcane power depletes, move in and blast them with arc lightning to the face. Make a judgment about the number of remaining enemies. If it's significant, it might be useful to teleport in with safe passage for an additional boost of survivability. Against elites, don't play the hero and kite with your arcane orbs. When you run out of arcane power, keep in mind that Prodigy passive does not care if you hit anything. It will still regen your resource if you cast the signature spell in an empty space. Refuel and keep casting the orbs. Mind your positioning with teleport and you should be fine. I hope you enjoyed the build and will consider trying it out, cause hey, who doesn't want to be Darth Vader and a Super Saiyan at the same time? If you enjoyed what you saw, I would appreciate your subscription to my daily content about Diablo, and I also hope to see you live on Twitch TV/TheDeadSaid. With the release of Reaper of Souls, I'll begin streaming full-time, and if you enjoy theory crafting and pure gameplay streams, I'll guarantee you that you'll like mine. That's all from me guys, and I'll see you next time.